Hey there, Sensei Mish here with a new journey episode. It is 5:28 in the morning, Pacific Standard Time, and it's raining. Like, it's raining. I don't think I've seen a break of rain for like 24 hours. It's crazy. And where am I? I'm in my truck, and I'm driving to California today. Where am I going? I'm going to San Francisco, Millbrae, to be specific. For you guys who don't know, who haven't been in the know of my journey, I have been training with, or mentoring, I guess you could say training, because it is business training, martial arts business training with Brannon Beliso. So every year he holds a business camp. He calls it Time Live. This year it is Time Live Change, and I did the virtual last year because there was no in-person because of COVID, and so when he announced that he was going to be doing his in-person one this year, I jumped at the chance. So I spent the money not even knowing if it would actually be in person or not. Even though he did say if it wasn't in person, he'd refund the money. But I've learned so much from Brannon when it comes to business and specifically martial arts business. I gotta actually meet him in person, but doing this 4-day camp, I've been looking forward to it. So it's about a 10.5-hour drive. I'm going to take the first, at least the first couple hours. I'm going to do the speed limit, or maybe below the speed limit, just because it is crazy raining, like crazy. But I've got my plan mapped out. I've told my wife, where I plan to stop and around what times and what I'm going to do. And I'm going to check in with you guys along the way, even though this isn't live. This is all going to be, pre-recorded. Just, my thoughts at the time, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's crazy insane. On my way to Millbrae, got 10 hours left, or a little bit more. We'll see how this trip goes. I made it. Oh my gosh. So, it took a little bit longer than I expected. I stopped in Reading, or I stopped in Medford for gas, stopped in Reading for gas and food and all that kind of stuff. And then, traffic in San Francisco, insane. Like, I can totally understand why I don't like cities. Like, my anxiety level, I don't know where the hell I'm going, so I'm using maps, and just the drivers, they're nuts. They're nuts. I thought Washingtonian, like I'm a Washingtonian, born an Oregonian. I thought we were bad drivers. Oh my God, California drivers, fucking insane. Anyway, I'm here. This is my home for the next 5 days. So. I'm excited. We're going to be getting together for dinner here. I don't know. I posted a message saying that, asking if that's still the plan, because that was the plan. I might just walk up to the school. The school is actually where we're going to be training, doing this camp. It's actually like a block and a half away, or 2 blocks, maybe 3. I don't know. But it's like supposed to be like a 5-minute walk. And it's really close. So I might just take a walk up there, see if anybody's up there, and there you go. So I'm alive. This is my room. Good morning. It is the morning of day 2. Reflections on day 1. Wow, where do I start? I could say amazing. There's so many adjectives that I could use, but I will say this: what did I get out of it? Because first of all, what did we do? We observed classes. So we observed an excellent kids class, and then pretty much year 1, year 2, an adult class. We had the options of doing that, and then that was in the morning session. We had a lunch break, and then in the afternoon we had a session with San Am, who is a martial artist, but with a single school of like 110, 120 students, but he is a multi-millionaire. So basically he was teaching us how to be martial arts millionaires. And when it comes to starting there, when it comes to my grandparents on my father's side, they were very well off. And my grandfather used to talk about, invest in the stock market. You can't just put your money in the bank. You have to invest and let it grow, and that's how you make your money. And he used to just say that. It's like, oh, you just need to pay off your credit cards every year or every month. He would just say stuff like that, but he would never teach us anything like that. And so what I got out of yesterday's thing, and I dabble a little bit. I'm not a serious investor. I'm going to become more serious. I do have a 401k through my 40-hour gig, but it's one of those things where I never got that education growing up. I was just told I should do it, but I was never shown how to do it. And Sam actually gave us tools on how to invest and what to look for and what to think about, and very eye-opening. And this is coming from a 50-year-old. I'm not 50 yet, but you get the point. I'm halfway to got just a few more months left and I'll be 50 years old, and I'm just now truly learning about investing. And it's not that I wasn't interested in it before, but I wasn't interested. It just was, my grandfather told me I should do this, and yeah, I probably should, but I didn't know how, and I had other things I needed to learn or teach myself. Well, Sam taught us, so got a lot out of that. Plethora of notes. The morning session, very, very interesting on how things were taught and how things were, it's not the material, but it was how the material was taught. So, and how Professor organizes his classes. And since I'm opening up a brand new school, and I've got, even when I was trying to organize classes at the house, trying to figure out how I do youth classes and adult classes and modular, how do I fit all those in, being just me teaching for now. Problems were solved. Let's just say that. I got a lot out of the morning session as well. So anyway, I am dressed. I'm ready to go off to today's session, and I'm really looking forward to it. All right, this is the morning of day 3. Day 2 was it was long. I mean, we started out at 8:15 with kind of a registration, a continental breakfast. I don't eat breakfast, but I've been stress eating, so I had breakfast, but I chose healthy stuff, I only had one donut, but that was in the afternoon. Maybe 2. Well, maybe it was 3. I don't know. I look in the mirror and I just see my face getting fatter and fatter and fatter, and I get frustrated with like my face was so thin. And even on the Time for Change like promotional thing that Brandon did online, it has one of my the picture of me with my knife in reverse. Like my face was so thin. So I know I have not been eating very well lately. I really try, but that's just kind of just me in a mirror just going, what the hell are you doing? Even me looking at myself in the camera right now, I'm very frustrated. But aside of that, day 2 was great. Like, we went over a lot of stuff, and because I've been part of Brandon's mentor program, it was kind of a repeat of a lot of the stuff, but presented in a different way, using different examples, new information. Even though the concept was the same, there was new information, and took lots of notes. Not just the notes of, just, repeating himself, but it was like, I have this idea based on what he was trying to say. So lots of things. I don't know what I'm going to do first when I get home. I'm still building out I'm still like physically, I'm still building out the school. But when it comes to reaching out into the community, what am I going to do first? So, and so I spoke with my wife last night. We're coming up with a plan. So I'm kind of excited about that. Kind of excited. Now, day 3 we go, I got to start walking up there in a little bit, but day 3, we go on a nature walk. Well, we kind of do a rehash of what went on yesterday, answer questions, all that kind of stuff. Observe some classes. But then we go on this nature walk. And one of the guys, there's this guy, I can't remember his last name. First name is John. Very nice guy. Kind of in the same boat as me. Single school. He has actually had a storefront, but he has a 40-hour gig. And he was actually laid off because his job went to outside America. I can't remember what country he said it went to, but he did not want to move there. So anyway, so he actually got a really good severance package. So he's doing kind of well. But he's like, even his wife is like, just take your school full time. That's what you want to do. That's what you love. So he's kind of in that same boat as I am. Even though I still kind of have a job. But he's done the 4-day experience before. So he was kind of like talking about what usually happens on day 3 and day 4. And the other people who had taken the 4-day experiences were just like, shut up. There's like people who've never been here before. You can't say anything. And so I don't know. There was talk of some guy, he's, from Germany, I think, who, he's a fighter and he's just serious all the time. And you'd never think he would cry. And there was talk of tree hugging and him crying and like people being emotional and digging deep. And so I have no idea what's going on today. Have no clue what's going to happen. But I don't know. We'll see. So, that all being said, I'm looking forward to today. I don't mind digging deep. I want this. This is all about, the title of his time life is change. I'm all about, I need to change some of the things that I do to be a successful martial arts school owner, instructor, and even to take San Am's thought process, I want to be a martial arts millionaire. So, and money, it's not about the money, but it is about the money because I need money to be able to, pay my bills, live the life I want to live, and, create a happy environment for me, my family, my friends, to be able to give back to the community the way that I want. And it's sad that at 50 years old, I'm just coming to this realization of what I need to do. Like, I could have, like, this information, like, if I knew this information 10 years ago, if, like, all this stuff that I'm learning now, if I had that all 10 years ago, 20 years ago, I would not be at the hospital. I would have already had a school. I'd be halfway to being a millionaire, you know? So, so far this weekend has been amazing. I'm looking forward to today. So we will see. I'm about halfway through my day. We finished the first evolution this morning. We have a break, and in about 2 hours I go to dinner. So the whole crying and tree hugging thing that Josh and Jason, or Paul, John, Jason, all those guys anyway, that they were trying to keep quiet. There was no tree hugging. There was crying though. Yes, and I cried. I was the one who cried. And you know what? I'll be upfront. So last night, I didn't say this in my previous little section. For those of you who don't know, my mom died, I don't know, 4 or 5 years ago. And we had a good relationship. I mean, she was still part of my life and part of my kids' lives, all that kind of stuff. But personally, you know, I don't remember having a great childhood. I mean, I know that she tried to provide the best for me and all that kind of stuff, but I always thought that my relationship with my mother was awkward. You know, she was one of those, I know she loved me, I know she cared for me, she encouraged me, but at the same time, she discouraged me. So last night, I dreamt that my mom came to me and told me, "You got this," in relation to opening a school and taking those steps to becoming a full-time instructor, all that kind of stuff. She's never fully supportive of my martial arts. She once bitched because she had to pay, bitched and complained because she had to pay $5 to get into a tournament that I was fighting at. That was my mom. So, so I dreamt that. And I woke up last night, or this morning, about 4:30 in the morning, going, what the hell did I just experience? And then, I was up for, I don't know, another hour and a half, went to sleep, got a little bit of sleep. And then, of course, the day began with us reflecting on what we had experienced the day before, even the both days. And this emotion just started coming over me. And so, it wasn't really like, okay, you do this, it was just like, okay, whoever wants to start. And I didn't initially jump up because, I was trying to hold back the emotion that I was feeling from this experience I had had the night before. And because it was all really kind of starting to become real for me, in that moment that my mom did visit me. And I do believe in, I don't believe in heaven or hell or anything like that, but I do believe there is an afterlife. And if people want to come and visit us, they can. So yes, I believe in ghosts. But I believe that she came to me. And so anyway, so I finally stood up and I just said, I didn't really have one takeaway from the weekend. My goal, and even though the weekend isn't even over, I still have dinner tonight an exercise after dinner, and then all day tomorrow. All day tomorrow. This is a 4-day experience. But it's one of those that I was just like, I basically was expecting to, I came here to get, basically reaffirm my confidence that I can do this. And I told him about my experience with my mom and 4 o'clock in the morning in my dream. And I couldn't hold in the emotion. I was just a blubbering idiot. I just felt like a blubbering idiot. But it was real. It was like, it was real to me. So this is the experience that I'm having here at It's Time Live. It's been a, Brandon is calling it It's Time Live Change. This has really changed my perspective on things and why I'm doing. My why hasn't changed, but it's reaffirming my why, and it's reaffirming my need for my future and what I want for my family and myself and my friends, and what I can accomplish and what I can give to the community, what I can give to my family and friends. And so anyway, we have a free time. I chose to come back to the hotel because I need to decompress, because even the experiences that we went through today, I need to I need to just kind of compose myself and write things down. And so today so far has been probably one of the best days. The first 2 days were learning experiences. Today, education, but today was an emotional, heart type of experience. So anyway, there you go. This weekend has been amazing. This is actually the shirt from the weekend, because it's Time Life Change. It was all about changing your mindset. This weekend for me has been so powerful. A lot of the information that Brannon gave is, it's the same stuff he talks about. I've been part of his mentor program. He has Success Never Sleeps. It's just like listening to Gary Vee. Gary Vee says the same stuff over and over and over again, but he always puts a little twist on it, And so the message never changes, but the material does. The context does. The relations change. So yes, it's the same information, but it's told in a different way. And I came down, basically, I think I've said this before, I came down to kind of reaffirm my belief that I can do this. I can open my school, give me those extra tools, and I did. Yeah. Now, unfortunately, statistics say that small businesses don't last. And, that data doesn't lie. I owned a business before. I owned my own computer software business, and it wasn't my passion. It's what I wanted to do at the time, but it was not my passion. And it only lasted 2 years. I didn't have a business plan. I had no idea what I wanted to do. All I knew is that I could build computers and build websites. That's all I knew. And so I was blind. I had no idea what I was doing. And when it came time to grow, where I had to make that decision: do I grow or do I die and just end it? I chose to end it because it wasn't my passion. It was, So this martial arts is my passion. It's my life. It's something that I, even giving it up for a year over 20 years ago, when I started doing it again, it was like, that's what I was missing in my life. So martial arts is always going to be part of my life, and it's my passion, and I want to give back. Everything that I do is, so this weekend has been, eye-opening is not the right word. Eye-opening isn't the right word. It is mind-opening. Like it's really given me the power that I knew I've always had, okay? To have that mindset, that martial arts millionaire mindset, I guess you could say, as Sandman says. That I have the tools and I have the resources to make this real. And how real could it get? I have an actual storefront that I'm building out currently. So, this has been a life changer. Honestly, a life changer for me. It's given me, it's reaffirmed my purpose, my why. I can't wait to get back and start getting started again. Physically getting the school back together. In fact, I was telling my wife last night that I just want to go back, and I want to put in my 2 weeks. That's how powerful this weekend was. That I just want to, because I was put in that position where at the end of the year I wouldn't have a job. And so that's really what sparked, let's get that storefront. Let's get me out of the hospital. But it's not the right decision financially. It's not the right decision. It's not time yet. And so one thing that I committed myself to is I want 100 students by July 4th. Now, I know I may not be able to actually open in the first week of December. That may not be a reality. I'm going to try and make it a reality as much as possible, but it's all based on the city of Vancouver. So that's why I say I'm going to try, because they're a major player in this of approving my permit and then, of course, approving my occupancy. So yeah, that's a big thing for me. But no matter what, counting December, that gives me 14 students a month. And I've got a place to train right now. So it's just really promoting the school, the potential of where we're going to end up for those students who want to start early before we actually start. And so but Brannon has given me the tools to be able to create that plan to be able to do this. So I'm definitely going back next year when he has his next Time Live event. I'm going back all 4 days. I was that dude that cried. Like this. And even last night, as I was saying goodbye to the friends that I had met online through my mentorship program, that I got to meet in person, and the new friends that I made while I was there. And it wasn't a goodbye forever. It was goodbye until I see you again. Because whether I see you online, or whether I see you online or in person or whatever, we have this connection. We've gone through it. It's like a bonding. It's like a bonding, We've cried together, we've laughed together, it's just, I can't put it into more words. So anyway, this video isn't over. I'm going to share with you the rest of my trip. So if you're going to leave me now because you don't want to see the cemetery and where my grandparents used to live, that's fine. Subscribe, share, like, all that cool social media stuff. I'll remind you it again. But this is my journey. This is my journey as a martial artist, as a human, as a provider, as an entrepreneur. I don't know. I hope, to quote Shatner after being shot into space, and I know this could never, like, if I was shot into space, I'd be feeling elated, but to quote him, I hope this feeling never goes away. And I'm paraphrasing because I can't remember right now because I'm getting emotional. I hope this feeling never ends, because it's such a good feeling. Positivity, gratefulness. For those people who watch my videos, who I've never met, and for those who have, whether it's Q-Show Corner, whether it's my journey, whether it's this old dojo, whether it's just the stupid stuff I put up, whether I'm friends with you on Facebook or that you follow me on Instagram, whether I know you personally or I've never met you, I'm grateful for you. And it's funny, I've said that before. I did I'm thankful video long ago. It's like, I think it was a Mondays with Sensei Mish or something like that. But that was bullshit to compare to how I'm feeling now. I truly am grateful for everyone who has been in my life, whether I've physically met you, talked to you, whether I consider you a friend or a mentor. I do. It's I hope this feeling never ends. The time is now. That it's all about creating that mindset. The time is now to start a new business, to interact with those people, the most important people, and I've heard this before, but it really didn't speak to me until now, that it's never too late. The time is now. And the person, like the most important person in your life, is the person that you're interacting with now. They're the most important person in your life. Yes, you may have a significant other. You may have a husband or a wife, a girlfriend, a boyfriend. They may be, you may have children. They may be the most important people in your life in the macro, but in the micro, that person that you're interacting with in that moment, that's the most important person. The thing you're doing in the moment is the most important thing. Because no matter what we do, you know, how small, it affects everything else. So, this could be a video all on its own. Shit, I've talked for 14 minutes so far. Okay. Thank you. I'm grateful. Thank you. And thank you, my friends. I'm going to shut up. I'm rambling. Anyway, until next time. Okay, so I just got home. It is 5:30 p.m. I left Modesto at about 5:30, 5:45 a.m. I have my entire trip from Vancouver to Millbrae to Fresno back home, 1,680 miles, almost 1,700 mile round trip. And every minute I sat in the car, whether it was in traffic, in the rain, well, even San Francisco traffic was worth it. A little bit of anxiety there, but every minute of the entire trip was worth it. I got 4 days of excellent training. I had, well, you saw, I had like a spiritual awakening practically. I got, you know, I visited with my grandparents, and I got to see family that's still alive. Great dinner. I hung out with my friend Danny, and now I'm home. I'm home with my family. I'm gonna give them hugs, and then we're gonna go eat. So thank you for hanging out for this long journey. If you still have not subscribed, liked, shared, all that really cool social media stuff, do so now, and I will see you on the next video.